Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So, what I wanted to share with you is a quick way to start an herb garden. If you didn't see our herb haul in the last video, don't go there now. Wait till this video is over, and then I'll link it in the description. Go over there and check out our herb haul. But I did leave one herb out that we're going to plant today. I actually started this from seed. We started sage from seed, and so now we're ready to go ahead and put it in a pot. But this is what I wanted to tell you all. I've shared my story with you on how we moved to different countries, and so we didn't always have the garden space that we have right now. But I always found a way, no matter what. So I want to show you one of those ways, because as long as the store is still selling some type of pot, you can plant it right in your pot. We're going to do a 3 herb garden. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So the herbs that we're planting today are perennial herbs. And when I say perennial, I mean that they will come back year after year. Now, I didn't say forever. It depends on the plants. Some will continue to come back, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 25 years. But they will come back year after year. But the reason why I like to plant perennials, whether it's a herb, whether it's a flower, whether it's a vegetable in the fall, is because it's a great time. The temperatures are not hot and humid for the plant to kind of, go through the phase like I'm suffering right now because it's hot and I just don't want to do anything. It's still cool, so it allows those roots to go ahead and get established. And so that's what I want to do today. We still have nice temperatures, but it's cooled down where they don't go into like a total shock because of the heat. So we are going to I'm going to show you everything you need to go ahead and get this started, to go ahead and get your roots established. Now, depending on what zone you're in, you may be able to go ahead and start harvesting off these herbs in a few weeks. But what I want you to do really quick is go ahead, download our free ebook, 5 Tips to a Flourishing Garden, because that's going to tell you some of the things I wish I had have known to make sure that my plants are growing and make sure that they're thriving and make sure that they're flourishing. Because if you could do those things, you will see a total transformation in your garden. So make sure you download that. And again, the link is in the description. So the 3 herbs that we're going to plant today are sage, we're going to plant some rosemary, and we are going to plant the lemon thyme that we showed you on the herb haul. And so the thing about container garden is when you combine different plants, it's not going to grow as big. Just say, for instance, if you were to plant them out in your, like, the actual soil, your native soil. And I'll give you an example. So when we grew rosemary before the snakes took over and I pulled every rosemary up, we seriously had rosemaries that were about 5 feet in height, 3 feet probably wide, but we're putting them in a container, so we're containing them. They're still going to grow, but they probably won't grow to its full potential, which is good. Depending on your space, you can still walk out and you can harvest those herbs. You can cook with those herbs. You can make those herbs a tea. You could do a facial steam. You could do a facial bath. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the benefits of herbs. That's why I told y'all in the last video that if you use herbs on a daily basis, they're offering so many benefits that you don't even think about. So that's what we're going to do. Let me show you what we have, and then we're going to get started planting them, because you don't need a lot of things, but you do need a little bit of time to check on them, a little bit of time to make sure that they're watered and evenly moist. You don't want them drying out, because let me just give you a quick tip really quick. When you plant in the ground, that plant can pull from the soil. It's a mosquito biting me, just in case I see have y'all see me. Oh my gosh, just in case you see me looking down, I just feel like I'm itching all over the place. But let's get back to what we said. When you plant in the soil, or if you plant you put some compost down, those roots can pull from the soil. It could pull the moisture in there. It could pull like we had rain this morning, and so the ground is moist. So when it gets dry, it could pull from beneath. But when you have a container, it's nowhere for it to pull. So you really have to come out and check it and make sure that it's watered. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what all we are going to do to put together this container. So we have coffee filters as optional. I do like to line my containers with the coffee filters because that will help prevent a lot of the soil from seeping out onto the concrete or whatever you're going to place your container on. So over time, the soil will continue to creep out and you'll probably have to continue to sweep it up. But these coffee filters kind of help just filter that soil from coming out, because in your containers you always want to make sure you have a drainage hole. You some come with the drainage hole, or you may have to put drainage holes in there, but you need holes in your container so that the water can filter out. Page that we started from seed, we actually planted some out in the garden, but then we had some left over. And then if you remember from our other video, we had the rosemary and the thyme. So we just have some regular potting soil here that's good for container gardening that we picked up. What I like to do is add just a few earthworm castings to my soil, and then what I'm going to do is add some slow release herb and leafy greens plant food. Now let me tell you, I'm not going to put the amount that I normally put in the spring. I just want to give it a jump start just for those roots to go ahead and continue to get stronger and develop, so that once the springtime comes, I'll probably give it its full dose and then watch the growth. So I just want to put just a little bit of this in here just to get things like a little jump start, but I'm not going to put the full amount that I normally put in there. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to what you're doing, because the mosquitoes are steadily eating your arms. So let me clean this up and then I'll show you the finished product. So I want to share with you and show you one more thing when you're getting ready to plant in a container. Don't like put them all next to each other. Give them some room to actually grow and flourish. Again, these plants will probably not grow to its fullest potential because we're containing them in the container, but we still want to allow them enough room to grow. So what I always like to do is, before I plant anything, is I like to play around with it and do the placement just to make sure that I like it. Because remember, I always tell people, you're the one that's going to have to look at it. So make sure you put it and place it and play around with it so that you like the placement and you like the way it looks as it grows. So basically what I'm going to do is plant this rosemary towards the back. I want to plant this thyme on this side, and then I'll put the sage over here. And with any container that I plant, I always like to use the thriller, spiller, and the filler. So this is going to be our thriller, the rosemary. The thyme is going to be our spiller, and the sage is going to be our filler. So let me go ahead and get it planted up, and then we'll show you what we got, and we can let those herbs go ahead and start growing. And like I said, let them go ahead and get established. But seriously, like right now, or in a few weeks, you could start just harvesting, little clippings, because the more you clip, the more they're going to get fuller and the more they're going to continue to grow. So we have everything planted, and y'all know how I like to add a little fun to it. Now is a good time that they're putting a lot of summer items on clearance. So if you can find like a little garden marker that will be just, you know, a little bit of pizzazz to your herb container garden. So what I'm going to do now is put this container where I want it at, just give it a little bit of drink of water just to water all the plants in, and we're just going to watch it grow. In a few weeks you can come out during when you're cooking your meals, you can clip off of it, and like I said, it's going to allow that plant to get bushier and grow in together. But this is a great way to start off gardening when you don't have a lot of space. Get you a container. It doesn't have to be 3 herbs. If you just only grow 1 herb or 2 herbs, but the main thing is to grow what you like and just start and just incorporate it into your everyday life, and you'll absolutely love it. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you share this video with your family and your friends. If you're not a subscriber, we would absolutely love to have you subscribe to our channel, and make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.